We got in last night to San Diego pretty late. Got into the hotel, did absolutely nothing. Just got food and getting to bed. Immediately waking up here, we got to go to our new hotel, just literally right over there. And then we're going to start on the same day at it. Well, they're going to start. I'm going to go take some pictures. We're right on the bayfront, so I'm going to definitely just walk around, take some pictures before I actually have to sleep, and then wake up to do all this. And then possibly Saturday night be able to go out and do some stuff, so we'll see you at the other hotel. So we're in the second hotel. Now we're at the Hilton Bayfront. Just checked in. Luckily, it's like 9 a.m. and they still let us check in, which has been great. But the room kind of sucks because it has no view whatsoever. It's just trains out there. Just trains. So that's kind of a bummer. But this is where we're going to be for the whole rest of the wedding. I'm going to go out and take pictures here in a couple minutes. Grab some food. I kind of want to explore around a little bit, see what's going on. I mean, we're right on the water, so maybe I'll go down and take some pictures there. It is now night. It is now night. I slept for about 6 hours, so now I'm going to be able to stay up and edit, which I probably won't have to be up all night, which is great. It's only 2 events, but I'm about to pick those events up now here in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to eat, and we're going to get to it. And then tomorrow morning, I'll be ready to go on the rest of the day. Alright, so I was going to wait till later in the evening, probably when I was done, to start talking about this sort of stuff. I often get asked when I'm out and about, traveling, doing same day edits and everything, how do you sort of do this kind of thing? And I guess it's just a practice and do over kind of thing. Like, it's just repetition at this point. And that's what a lot of people will tell you, is that they get good via doing it over and over and over and over again. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, all weddings are the same. So if you want to make weddings, if you want to make wedding videos, do wedding photo, if you want to start doing weddings and everything like that, it's a great source of income. And it's very easy to do because it's a job that it's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to get married. And you can easily capitalize on that. So I'm going to talk about the few things you can do to get started very easily. 1, get a camera. The one I'm shooting this vlog on right now is just a 5D Mark II. They're going for about $650 nowadays. And when I started doing weddings, this is what everything was shot on. 2011 is when I started really getting into weddings, and everybody was shooting on these 5D Mark IIs. They have great color. They're really good. They're terrible in low light, but that's why you just put a on-camera light on, and you're good. You're golden. You can throw it on a $500 Steadicam, which I'm sure you can get for even cheaper now used. You can probably pick one up for $250. So overall, just getting started, you're looking at a tripod or monopod, a $650 5D Mark II, and a light, and then you just build up from there. What I would say to do is practice with your camera, and then go second shoot for someone who is established, freelance, someone who isn't going to take it personally if you go out and start doing your own thing. Weddings are a big business. They're not usually, anyone can get weddings, and you're in competition with each other, but it's not always like competition, what I'm saying? Like, everyone's always pulling weddings, especially if your work is good. And most people I know usually help each other out in some way or another. You buy your lenses, you buy your lenses, you buy your audio, you buy your little pieces of equipment that you need, and then boom, you're set up to start shooting on your own. The second thing you need to do when you're starting off in weddings is know your event. When I say event, I mean ceremony, reception. Each of those is considered a different event in a wedding. So when I do Indian weddings, you have, usually all sorts of different kind of weddings, which you have to know what is the most important part, what goes where, so on and so forth. Knowing that and being able to capture those in a cinematic and best way possible will set your footage, and if you run your own company, your stuff apart from others. Because I know people that have been doing this for years and still cannot get that right. Priest says, "I now pronounce you man and wife. The kiss is coming." Boom, you need to set that shot up. You need to capture that moment. Your shot can't be shaky. You can't still be setting up when that happens. You need to know when it's happening. You need to be 3 steps ahead than you are. And that comes with experience. Like in an Indian wedding, during their ceremonies, there's so much stuff that happens. They walk around the fire. You have to know when that's coming, and you need to know when to set it up. I have to switch out footage 1 second. When you can capture that stuff, it makes all the difference in the world, because that makes your client happy, that makes people who witness it happy, and in turn, that will bring you more clients. And this information doesn't just pertain to video, it pertains to photo as well. You gotta know when stuff is happening. The cake cutting, everything in between. Know what you're going to be shooting ahead of time. You have to plan ahead. You cannot do all of it on the fly. And if you do all of it on the fly and you're not paying attention, you are going to miss something important, and that's not going to be good. 3, if you're going to shoot weddings or edit, do not let people discourage you from doing so. Because if wedding is looked at the bottom bracket of video, but if you're just starting out, it's a terrific way to start and make money. You can always move forward. If you get trapped doing weddings forever, it's your fault. Don't let people talk you down from the idea. This is all I'm saying. Because I've had people do it. People have been doing that forever. And it's hard. In the end, it is hard to make a reel that's just wedding and try to get other clients. So what you have to do is, while you're doing weddings, get your shit together and then start doing a little extra side work on the side for free to get that reel. And I'll always say do little stuff here and there for free. That's not a bad deal. Because in the end it could work out. If you can land some paying music videos, if you can land a couple corporate jobs that are really cheap, that you're just like, hey, I'll just do it for free. Some restaurants, a local brewery that's really small and could use some advertising, all that sort of stuff. Just go around and start asking people. 4, get good audio. I cannot stress that enough. Always include audio. What a lot of people try to do is pass off the on-camera mic as actual audio. Do not do that. For stuff that's supposed to be captured, like speeches, vows, everything like that, use an external recorder in any way you possibly can. On-camera audio, stuff like, people laughing and cheering and stuff like that you can transition easily into your music, all that sort of stuff. The high points in your music while you're editing, that makes a lot of difference. Also, get audio of like a message to the bride from the groom or something and so forth for your editing process, because that makes a huge difference too. Like, I used to get all the time just the same questions over and over again for different brides and grooms and everything like that, and it's just, when you work for a company that really doesn't take the time for people, to get to, you send a different shooter out for all your events and stuff like that. You really don't get a shooter that knows your bride and groom. Since you get to have one-on-one time with your bride and groom, you get to know them and everything like that. You can have them write something or pose questions that will go well for them for their video. If one of them is just, super emotional about the whole ordeal, you can use that to your advantage for a good video. So utilize your audio as much as possible, because it's just as important as the footage you get. And number 5, and this is the most important one, understand what your strengths are. If your strength lies in shooting, you shoot. If your strength lies in editing, edit. If your strength does not rely on either of those, you have someone do it for you. These are weddings. They're people's days. Some of them only have one, some people have 2, some people have 3. But either way, in an entire span of a human life, they're very important to one another. So if you are not good at one, and you don't have a backup, but you're running around like, hey, I'm the best, you're gonna have a bad time. Don't be that person when you show up on set or to the wedding and you have absolutely no idea what you're doing when you just talked yourself up a whole lot. So if you know of an area where you're lacking, either train yourself, get better because you can, or bring someone else on who can cover that area until you're better, or you just leave it at that. They cover that part, you cover the other. Like, it's not a bad setup. No. So those are my 5 steps on kind of getting started in weddings and understanding weddings and being able to make some money. I feel like they're kind of misrepresented steps, and I feel that if you take them to heart, you can successfully get started. And for people who still have trouble recognizing these steps, I think it would be very helpful for you as well. Also, thank you. I have officially broken 400 followers on Instagram through organic means, so that's kind of a big deal for me because that never, ever fucking happens. That's kind of a big deal for me because that has never happened on a social media thing. I'm getting very positive things with my photography and other things of the like. So I'm going to post both my Instagrams down in the description. So if you like this video, like and subscribe. That'll help me out a lot. And we'll see you on the next one.